How do you go from being a sales rep with a dream to building an 8-figure roofing company with 6 co-owners? Today's episode is a masterclass in culture-driven growth. We're talking with Elijah Muhm about what it takes to build a true destination company for sales reps, where people don't just work, they stay, thrive, and retire. Elijah is one of the founders of Romans Roofing and the host of the Roof Trolls podcast. His team turned a $700,000 mom and pop shop into a multi-8-figure machine in just 2 years, all while putting culture and accountability above profit. What sets Elijah apart is his transparency, from firing his top producer for being a culture killer to offering salaries, 401ks, and vehicles in an industry that rarely does. Elijah walks the talk. And the 10 sales reps who followed him to Romans, that says it all. You want to create a business where reps can grow, stay loyal, and build a future? This episode is your blueprint. Let's get into it with Elijah Muhm from Romans Roofing. Welcome to the Roofing Success Podcast. I'm Jim Aline, and I'm here to bring you insights from top leaders in the roofing industry to help you grow and scale your roofing business. Elijah Muhm, how are you today, man?
Good, man. Great. Excited to be on the podcast.
The Roof Trolls in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love the Roof
Romans
Trolls.
Roofing. Awesome, man. Good to have you. It's good to have you. How about introduce yourself to the audience? Tell them a little bit about Romans. Introduce the Roof Trolls podcast a little bit.
Okay. So my name is Elijah Muhm. I am one of the owners, one of 6 owners of Romans Roofing. Yes, you heard that right. We have 6 partners. I'm also a host of a podcast called the Roof Trolls. It is a platform that I created to collaborate with other amazing people, not only in our industry, but in our local towns that we work in. Just trying to bring more spotlight to some people out there who might be doing amazing things. It was one of the things that when I was coming up as a sales rep, I was like, man, it'd be cool to be on a podcast. It'd be cool to be on a stage and stuff. And then later you find out you got to earn those things. But I think Roof Trolls is like a good step just to get out there and, start meeting people, learning and picking other people's brains and seeing what they're doing to be successful, similar to this podcast as well, and just collaborating on a whole. I think that's one of the things that the industry is really, really lacking in right now.
Yeah. How'd you guys come together? 6 partners. That's a lot of people to bring together.
Yeah. So I worked for one of my partners at the first job in this industry I've ever had, first sales gig ever. That company was absorbed by a much larger company in an attempt to push for a public market. I'm a corporate company. And I didn't stay on that train. I actually was like, hey, man, I'm 2 years into sales. I've been a dog on the streets knocking doors. I think that I could find growth somewhere else. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be a sales manager. I really wanted to get into sales and learn, front to back, that aspect of it. So I went my separate ways, worked for a couple companies, and then actually ended up back at that much larger company that absorbed that company I worked at. So while I was there, I developed a couple relationships with some people there, and Romans Roofing was started by a local attorney in this area, Jeffrey Semko, who also remains still a partner in this. And he was the original founder of Romans Roofing. It was like a small mom and pop side gig for him. Obviously, he's an attorney, so he has a busy schedule anyway. And he started this concept. He was like, I'm going to do something for my son. His son is named Roman, so we're going to put together Romans. So while that was going on, my buddy who I grew up with, Angelo, was working at a supplier, kind of linked up with Jeff, and they went into business together. Well, when the falling out happened, when this company was pushing toward the public market where we were all at, I had a choice to make. Was I going to go start off on my own thing, finally become an owner? I didn't know what to do, so I sat down with a few people. I kind of saw what was out there, what everybody had on the table. And I determined that I'm gonna open up my own business. It's time for me to get out there and kind of do my thing. Randomly, we went to a Cubs game, and while we were sitting there, Angelo was like, "Hey, man, I know you want to open your own thing, but I think that we might be interested in maybe selling this. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to come and at least sit down and see what that looks like." And I was like, "Man, was a little hesitant about it because, again, I've been doing this at this point now for 6 years, and I still hadn't done anything on my own. I still didn't know if I was capable of doing it on my own. I wanted to challenge myself. I'm like, all right, well, I learned early on in life that, you got to hear people out. Every opportunity could present something else for you, so at least give them the opportunity to sit down. So we went and sat down at the law office, and dude, it was crazy. It was like, I mean, perfect. So they had a mom and pop feel to them. They had a little bit of branding, known as a good, reliable company. They had no sales guys, but they had licenses. They had established business. They had a presence in the area. So I was like, hey, man, I think this is a good fit. So I brought 10 guys in here with me. And then I brought 3 other guys in here. So we waited on another guy to kind of, you know how it goes, man. When everybody leaves the company, they get a little cold feet. So we waited on him to come over here. And then once he came over, we were like, all right, well, what do we do now? We got 6 owners, and some people would look at that as like a negative thing. I looked at it as like an amazing thing, because that's 6 different points of view. That's 6 different opinions, 6 different philosophies. And now when we have issues, you got to run through 6 different people before we decide, what to do with that. And I think that's great. It's great. It also sends a message to reps, letting them know that I could make more money doing this alone, but I take less money to have a better, stronger support system, better cast, better processes in general, because that's what you need to scale up to the next level is solid process. So it kind of was just like a perfect fit. We came over here in 2 years ago. So it was 2 years ago was our first year. So this is year 3. So 2 years ago, we come in here, and the most this company ever did was 700,000. We come in here at the end of May, and my guys finished the year at 7.5 million. And we did that in, honestly, like 6 months. We just really plowed through it. Guys are great at the door. It was almost all door knocking, like just solid door knocking. He had a little bit of leads for like retail, but my guys weren't fit for that yet. So we ran by the seat of our pants, flew by the seat of our pants, took off, hit 7.5 million. And then we were like, all right, well, whoa, what did we do? Like, what did we do? So we started dialing in what we were doing. And then we were like, dude, I think that we could do more. And I think that we're in a position now to really, really help our guys. So it's like, so how do we grow this out and keep them happy? Because at the end of the day, Romans Roofing only wants to be a destination spot for sales reps. That's my end goal. I want to see a sales rep retire with me in an industry where the average lifespan of a sales rep is 2 to 3 years. I want to see them retire here. So I have guys who've been with me for 5 years. So we took that philosophy. We came back last year and hit it at 14.5 million. And now we are actually on pace to go over 20. And it's, we've done some changes here now that I think really speak volumes into who we are as individuals, being that we offer a salary. We're one of the few companies in this area that offers a salary. We also offer commission, 401k with a 3.5% match, because I want people to retire here. We offer leads, in-house leads, as well as door knocking. We provide vehicles. It's just a whole shebang, and we're just big on marketing and everything, and kind of just having fun, man, growing this thing out. I know it's a long-winded story, but.
Let's talk about that a little bit, though. Like, you mentioned a few things, but let's dive deep into becoming a destination company for sales reps. Like, it sounds like that became an idea in your mind after you came over to Romans. But how has that progressed? What is that? I know the goal is, hey, I want a place where someone could retire from. What steps do you take in between to make sure that happens?
The first step is accountability. I think that's missed across the board. A lot of people throw that word out there loosely. I've lost, even at Romans, probably 30 sales reps that were gone. And most of that is my fault. You have to own responsibility for that because you make mistakes along the way. If you're not making mistakes, I don't think you're aiming for a big enough goal. And that's just the reality of it. So we got to learn from it. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and it says when defeat comes, we accept that as a signal that our plans are not sound. So it's basically back to the drawing board before you can set sail again. And that's kind of like what we did. So we were like, all right, this is what we're doing that's really working. But what are we doing that's not working? And this is crazy, but I tell people all about it. And I love the guy to death. I wish nothing but the best for him. So at the end of last year, we determined, well, towards the end of last year, we determined that it was going to be a different mindset, that we were going to have to go in this and decide what we wanted. Did we want to go on vacations all the time as owners? Did we want to use this as a bank account? Did we want to, financially set ourselves up? Or do we genuinely care about the people that work for us? And if we do genuinely care about the people that work for us, then we need to give them an environment that they can thrive in. So how do you do that? Well, you take culture and you put it above profits. And it's hard. That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. It really is, man. Greed is so bad in every industry, but especially this one. So, having lived from the perspective of a sales rep my entire career, I'm obviously sales like-minded. So when I came up with this philosophy, I was like, well, I got to be serious about it. So our top sales rep last year, and he was one of my good friends, we fired him. He finished the year at the most sales. He was by far the best sales rep I had, but he was a cancer to the culture. He brought down a lot of people in the environment. He wasn't what we wanted him to be outside of his performance. Like, selling jobs is one thing, but when people have to come and work with you, if you're untrainable, if you're uncoachable, then I have nothing for you. I mean, whatever you are right now, that's all you're ever going to be. And in this industry, it's forever evolving. So, like, good luck paying your bills with the skill set that you obtained last year. Good luck. We all have to do better. We all have to. So it starts with the ownership. And then I said the process. The other part is, do we pay massive commissions or do we invest in the future? So then that's a conversation we had with our sales reps as well. Hey, guys, I can pay you 10%, 12%, 15%, 10, 50, 50, whatever you want. I can pay you that. No doubt about it. But if you want to be here, if this is something you're committed to, like Romans, you want it to grow. You want to eventually put yourself in a position to have a max, a large income, and to be in a position where you could have people underneath you, possibly in another office or something. Then we got to do this smart, guys. We got to approach this as like we're the face of it. And we're out here for a greater purpose, right? You gotta have a mission statement, and that's kind of like where we're at right now. It's like, all right, guys, let's go out and be the best we can be, but also provide the best experience, not only for you guys, but for our clientele as well, because that's what the world's turning right now, man. Everything is convenience and experience. Price has been out the window for a long time. We all know that. We see, Power Remodeling is $1 billion company, and they spit out a month. That's where we're at in society. So, like, how do we separate ourselves from the rest of the people? And that's through experience and genuinely caring. You have to care.
You do, and that has to be a hard conversation, like with the team and saying, look, do we put you? You're going to put the company above your paycheck in a way, right? How did that go? What was the feedback?
So
did you lose some people?
Oh yeah. We had a couple of people that didn't buy into it after that move was made. I think we ended up losing 4 more. Full disclosure, again, we're on pace to do more than we did last year, and that's with the top sales rep and all those other guys going. So the proof is in the pudding. That's why you got to go back and you really got to double down and be committed to what you're doing. Stick to the process and believe in yourself. And you're gonna fail, dude. I just don't. You're gonna fail. What he's saying, the greatest salesman in the world, the victory of success is half won when you develop the habits of creating goals and then crushing those goals. So you have to start small, and that's what we did in the beginning with the guys. Like, hey man, we want to accomplish this, this, and this. Let's go out and do it. And then, we took steps huge for ourselves as well. We took less profits to do greater things. So, for instance, this building that I'm sitting in right now, we sat down as owners and we said, hey man, we need to buy a building. Why do we need to buy a building? Why is that necessary? It's necessary for a lot of things, but if we're going to tell the community that we care about them, that we're here to protect them, then we need to not be paying rent. This needs to be ours. We need to be established in this building. So right now, I'm actually right across the street from the mayor's office in the town that we operate in. We bought the building here. It sends a message to let everybody know we're here. We don't plan to go anywhere. We're planning to stick by you guys, whether we do right or wrong. We're going to be here to correct those mistakes and move forward together.
Yeah, for sure. And those are, I guess that's leading from the front, right? So the team sees that, the community sees that. You're putting that foot forward. We also talked about it in this the other day when we were talking, not just helping reps earn, that you want them to grow personally through this journey of working with Romans also. How have you implemented that?
Before we carry on with the episode, let's give a shout out to one of our sponsors.
I talk to contractors every day that feel stuck. Not because they're not working hard, but because they're missing the structure to growth without chaos. Or their culture's falling apart because their team's unclear, unaligned, or just burned out. And when change hits, they're reacting instead of leading because time and priorities aren't under their control. Day 41 Thrive helps to fix that with proven strategies for growth, culture, and leadership that actually work. Ready to thrive beyond the storm? Visit the link in the description or visit the Roofing Success Podcast website on the sponsors page to start your journey today. That you want them to grow personally through this journey of working with Romans also. How have you implemented that?
Man, so it's been, baby steps, like I alluded to. We really try to get out there, and collaboration has helped us to a point. So we are members of the Roof Hustlers Academy with Deshaun. We have been for 2 years. We've flown him out each of the last 2 years to come and work with our guys on the psychology of door knocking, identifying the clientele, learning how to read them, learning how to in a sense, manipulate conversations to sway in our favors, like teaching the guys what it takes to be a salesman, but also diving in and letting them understand that these are superpowers. We're all superpowers. Truthfully, that's what we are. We're superheroes. Not only do we help homeowners overcome, some huge objectives that they're dealing with and go through a rigorous process. But aside from that, we have superpowers. We know how to sway conversations. We know how to do these things and manipulate tactics and stuff like that to work in our favor. So we have to teach the guys now, since you've developed those superpowers, comes, like Spider-Man's, comes great responsibility. You can't use that for bad. You got to continue to grow and be a good person. Because if you're not a good human being, then who cares how much money you make? Who cares what you do for a living? Like, you have to be a good person first. So we're family oriented here. We all hang out together. We do family events together. We do barbecues together. We travel as teams together. We go to door con every year in Utah together as a team. I expose them to people doing greater things so they can see how large and still humbly small this industry really is. And just like trying to work with them on, like I said, just outside of sales too. It's, do you have any, financial concerns? We've helped guys in private, pay for some things in their lives that they couldn't get a grasp on to help them give a leg up. When you tell people that they're family, you have to treat them as such. People don't have to beg for days off here when something tragic happens. We try to help out when something like that happens. We try to stand by our people. We give them, a list of books if they want to read it or not. If they do choose to read it, we discuss it together. We'll dive into personality tests, and we have trainings that we've provided. So like I said, Deshaun was out here last year. This year we had John Scenic out for 2 days and then Deshaun out here for 3. I tried to get Dan Walrack, but it just didn't fit in the schedule in time. Love Dan. Shout out Dan. But yeah, it's about doubling down on our efforts to make them better as individuals in sales. And then we have to give them the steps to take. But that's the thing when it comes with development. They have to want that too. So when we sit down and we talk to guys, you set goals with me, I'm holding you to those goals. You want to set 2 million? Great. This is the road to 2 million though. Don't set some ridiculous goal and expect not to be held accountable, because you essentially are creating that bar for yourself. I'm going to measure you at that gauge because that's what you told me you wanted. So, holding them accountable as well. And then when it comes to personal development, they have to take some steps on their own. They're going to have to go out there. Don't be scared to go get a coach. Don't be scared to go get a mentor. Don't be scared to look up guys that are giving out free stuff. Becca Switzer, free content all day long. Deshaun, free content all day long. Scenic, free content all day long. Follow podcasts. Start listening to these guys. It doesn't matter how you feel about individuals or not. People are successful and they're doing things that you could benefit from as well if you would just shut your mouth and open your ears. And that's the concept that we try to teach people, because you don't know everything. And again, it goes back to being uncoachable. If you're the smartest person in that room, then get the hell out and go find a new room. It's literally where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you guys can keep yourselves moving forward and progressing individually, right? There's all 6 of you. You got to be all of you probably have to be working on your personal development to stay ahead of everyone, right? To walk the path and to show the team. How are you guys doing that also?
So the owners, last year we started reading this book thing. We do like a book a month. I took it upon myself. I read 25 books last year as like a goal for mine. So for me, that's a huge feat. For some out there, I know it's not. I'm up to almost 2 books a month now that I read and continuously try to read. Reading has been really, really helpful for me. As well as content. We drive home. So I do marketing for our company as well, minus the video editing. So I'd be a nightmare if I was trying to edit videos. It would drive me insane. I'd throw my computer in the wall. But filming the content and coming up with creative ideas and stuff, that's what I wanted to do originally. I enjoy that. I think that more content is always going to be a good thing no matter what anyone says. I think that no one's doing enough. You could always be doing more of that. So we try to message our guys and let them know that too, like videos and stuff, to put yourself in front of the camera. Patrick Carr spoke actually at one of Deshaun's trainings, and he explained to the guys, the rule, you want to keep your hands here, locked in, engaged, all that stuff. And he showed us the videos that he did, and it was very impactful. And some of our leadership, they're starting to open their minds at least to a little bit more marketing. We're starting to dive into that. Like I said, our attorney, Jeff, who's our partner, he's like a silent partner. He's not really involved in the day-to-day operations. So he's still learning the roofing industry. And it's kind of cool because we get to teach. So essentially we learn more too. We retain more knowledge by having to teach as well. But our other guys, I hope that they're taking the steps to develop themselves. I like to think they are. A lot of us are in mastermind groups. A lot of us, we're in the leadership program as well for Roof Hustlers. We were in One More Door with Ty Adams and Tony Flatham as well. So we're getting advice from those guys. Got great relationship with Build Strong, good people. And I'll continue to pick the brains of everybody. I'll ask you a million questions. I'll constantly message you or DM you. That's just, we have to continue to want to learn more every day. And I hope that my partners, and I feel that they're taking that same initiative every day as well.
Yeah, I think that's a major factor. If you're going to have that as part of your culture, is everyone has to live it. Like I know some companies have a really big culture around fitness. Everybody has to be, you know what I mean? Like everyone has to do it. Whatever you're building the culture around, everyone has to do it. And I know you're very, very, very intuitive or in tune with your culture. And, what's your thoughts on that? Like, let's dive deep into what has developed the culture. What do you feel like has really developed the culture? Because just to have 10 reps follow you to a new company, that's like that's a moment. That means that there was some sort of leadership or respect there, which is culture in itself. What have you done intentionally now to build the culture at Romans?
So we explained to the guys. So when I first started as a team lead, when I developed, because before I was a sales manager, I had to be a team lead. And I realized quickly that, a lot of people lose sight of this too, and I think it's huge. When you get put in a position and you've yourself have done underneath that position, so if you've been a sales rep and you get promoted to sales manager, you have one of two choices at that point. Continue the disgusting cycle that you lived through as a sales rep, or you provide what you wished you had as a sales rep. So when I took that mindset on and I started caring about my team more, my numbers started soaring. And I realized quickly that it's not because I drop a hammer on somebody. It's because I genuinely am trying to make them successful. I'm trying to help them. I'm laying out what we need to do, but more importantly, I'm doing it and I'm giving them the easiest route to do it. You cannot give orders if you yourself have never done it. It drives me insane. That's part of what I wanted to speak. If I'm being completely honest with you, that's part of what engaged me into getting out there, is because I have seen people that haven't knocked a door since the Bush administration giving advice daily on YouTube and stuff about knocking doors. Come on, dude. You know how much the game has changed since the last time you were out there knocking on a door? Please go sit down somewhere. So that's my mindset with my guys. I'm like, dude, I'll never ask you to do something if I myself cannot or have not done it. So like that, it starts that. Another rule that I have is I don't bite their head off in front of people. I think that's so disrespectful. It's more of like a private thing. Like we say, hey, man, you messed up here. I need you to get it together. And then it goes a step further. When leadership comes to me, people above me, and they would come down and they'd say, hey, man, we need to talk to this guy. I tell them, hey, chill out. I'll handle my guy. It's rainbows and sunshine from you guys. You give me the marching orders, and I think that's where a lot of leadership fails at, is that when we get this daunting task or something we disagree with, we have tendency to show our emotions when we give the orders down. So like when someone comes to you and they're like, hey, dude, this sales team needs a crack. They didn't crack the whip. I don't know what you're doing. You're not signing as much as you were before. You need to take that and say, hey, guys, they said that we were signing really good before, and they said they'd just like to see the same increase. So, like, what are we doing? What are you guys seeing out there? Like, why do you think this? Why do you think we can't hit that number? Like, what's stopping us from doing that? Is there anything I can do for you? But no, most people want to come back in there and say, dude, they're yelling at me, and I'm telling you guys, this is the same stuff I'm telling and it's a vicious cycle, bro. And I did that. A lot in the beginning, man. And I lost so many talented reps. And I always think back on that. I'm like, man, some of the guys definitely deserve to go, but there are a couple that linger with you in the back of your mind. If you have any empathy or heart at all, you'll think back on those people and be like, dude, you know what, man, I really should have done better with that person. I know he had potential, but at the same time, I didn't know better. I my mind was poisoned, and I didn't know that I didn't know I could do better. I didn't believe in myself. And over the last 8 years, I've really been, I'm fully confident now. I'm like, no, dude, it's because I was in the wrong mindset, and now I'm in the right mindset, and I'm like, all right, well, now what do we do with this?
So what is the right mindset for leading a sales team?
Put the sales team first. It's going to be very hard for a lot of people to do that. I would even go as far as, I know I'm going to get shit for this, I'd put them above my clients. That's, that sales team is why you have a business. There are no supplementers, estimators, no contractors, there's nothing without that initial sale. And to put this in perspective too, because I'm getting sick of hearing this as well, sales is not easy. Everybody here thinks that sales, for some reason, it's been crazy in this industry. Like sales is easy. Sales is not. You know what's easy? Taking a file that's already bought and supplementing it. That's easy. It's easy to schedule a build. It's easy to find a subcontractor to do a work. That's easy. Stop lying to yourselves. What's difficult is walking into a homeowner's door at 6:30 at night, interrupting their meal, and then having them sign a piece of paper that states that you're going to get the roof replaced when they didn't even know you were coming to their door, all within an hour. That's hard. Stop lying to yourselves. And a lot of people want to downplay what sales is. Another thing is sales should be getting paid more than you guys. That's another way. That's a clown's way of thinking. You think that sales doesn't deserve to get paid more than you guys do? Like, what? They do the hardest aspect of the job. That's their, we reward them with high commissions because we want them to do what we want them to do. Pay the guy. He won't leave. It's like a newsflash, guys. Treat him good and pay him. Guess what? They don't go anywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah. So now we've we talked a little bit about and this is kind of a sales thing, and I think it's more of a sales and marketing thing. But we talked a little bit about like how all business is show business in a way. What the philosophy behind that? Talk about that a little bit.
Oh man, I love that all business is show business. And Deshaun's really helped me sharpen that too, because that's a guy that's super fun to watch. Storytelling and being creative and not being scared of the content. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at Roman's Roofing's content or not, or if anybody out there does get a chance to look at it. Man, I put out some crazy videos. And I do that. There's a purpose behind it. So a lot of it is you want to grab people's attention because people think that we're shopping for leads. I don't care about leads. Leads don't mean the leads are going to come. You got to go through a process. On social media, you got to give away before you can ask for anything. So Romans, we actually teach homeowners how not to use us. Like we put together videos and run ads with money behind them, teaching them how to not have to take a claim out with us, how to not have to go through a roofer such as Romans. I want to teach you that. I want to teach you how to handle a storm claim on your own. Why do I want to do that? Well, because one, we all know the 1% rule. None of them are really going to do it. And then the ones that do choose to do it, they're going to see how hard this really is. And then who do you think they're going to go to for help? It's going to be the guy who taught them, guys. It's going to be the one who keeps getting out there and leading by example. Another thing is, like I said, the collaboration of this whole thing, man. It's there's things going on right now, content wise, that we're missing out on. We just are. When is a roofing company going to get together with like 6 or 7 other roofing companies, not in a platform that you compete against on a daily basis? I emphasis compete because I don't believe in that either. But you have 7 local companies. Why haven't all 7 of you guys gotten together on an ad and said, hey, Northwest Indiana, we work together. We wanted to let you know that we too are frustrated by the storm chasers that continue to come in this area. We too are upset by the way some people have been handling the claims. So what we've done is we've united together and we let you know that there are companies you can trust, and the companies you can trust are right here in this video. So if you are going to take a claim out or you are going to go forward with the process, please use somebody creditable, somebody from this area. Why? Why won't you do that? You're scared that someone's going to get your job? Then they're better. Then up your game. But like, let's lock this area down, man. This is our shit. We could all own this. So let's focus on that, dude, instead of like competing against each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, the competition aspect is crazy. You mentioned Tony Flatham. Like I when I first met Tony and Build Strong, I think we were having a conversation at a conference, and I hadn't heard of Build Strong. I live in the Twin Cities area. I hadn't heard of Build Strong, and I know we had talked, and he told me the revenue that they were doing. And I didn't even hear of Build Strong. Like it's very eye-opening to know the abundance of work that's out there, right? And if you have that abundance mentality, you can do things like that. You can collaborate. You can share ideas. You can be open and honest with each other about what's going on in the market. Now, there's always competition, healthy competition, right? Your own sales team should, in my opinion, have healthy competition between them, right? You guys, it's a big thing. And is that, have you been able to highlight anything in this? Because it's kind of it's an education first mentality, And I think that's a big part of it. What you mentioned, you said, we teach these people things that once they start doing it, it's hard. They realize, oh man, I do need a professional, right? That's what a lot of, that's done a lot in different businesses. Like, hey, here's some free this, here's a free guide for this or a free checklist for that. And then you get into it and you're like, oh boy, whoa, I'm stuck on this. Let me get a professional to do it. What is your marketing mix from a marketing perspective? I mean, you guys are a door-to-door company, but what else are you doing to showcase and build the brand for Romans?
I know you're enjoying the episode, but let's give a shout out to another one of our sponsors.
As a roofing marketing agency owner and coach, I've seen it all. Great marketing wasted because no one follows up fast enough. That's why I built Power Up Agents, not just a receptionist. Our AI handles the entire customer journey, from answering the first call to booking the job to post-job surveys and reviews. 24/7, inbound, outbound, even multilingual. If you want leads followed up instantly and customers nurtured automatically, visit the link in the description or visit the sponsors page on the Roofing Success Podcast website. Your full AI team is ready. What is your marketing mix from a marketing perspective? I mean, you guys are a door-to-door company, but what else are you doing to showcase and build the brand for Romans?
We do multifamily too. We do commercial. We do retail. We have 3 retail guys. I have 2 commercial guys. And then right now, sits at like 15 or 17 sales reps. I have a couple 1099 car salesmen that are kind of like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot, still don't know if they want to come here full time. And I'm okay with it because I'll tell you what, dude, car salesmen, they got that financing on the lock. They know exactly what they're doing as far as that. I mean, they're fluent in that. So I'm always about a dog. If you're going to come out here and you're going to hustle and grind for the few hours that you put in weekly, hey, I'm about that. So that motivates me. As far as marketing goes, like we like I said, the Roof Trolls plays a huge factor. Roof Trolls has allowed us to collaborate with some people that are doing amazing things, and then it's also put our foot in the door with some amazing guests that I never thought possible. We had Ryan Stewman was on, I went to Apex and sat down with him in his podcast, for Roof Trolls, but in his podcast room. And that guy, after you have that conversation, you're like, holy hell, I'm not doing anything in my life right now. I need to step up. Tony, I had him on the Roof Trolls. He broke down how he does what he does in real estate. Dan Walrack and Tiffany Walrack were both on the show. I love Tiffany too. She's a very amazing person, very good, kind heart and soul. I actually saw her on Eric's podcast, and she was talking about time management. And I was like, after I saw that podcast, I reached out to Dan Walrack. I'm like, is Tiffany going to be around? Like, if she is, get her on there too. So we had both of them come out there.
Get her too.
Yeah. So Tim Brown allowed us to use his room, and unfortunately, I didn't get to interview Tim. I wanted to. But he allowed us to use his podcast room, and we had some amazing guests, man. And it was just like a really good experience. And being able to sit down and talk to those guys. I've talked to Ty in private. I've talked to Tony in private. Dan, Deshaun, Mike Goldstein's a great dude in the industry. Reggie Brock. So like Jay Bradley. I've talked to all these guys, and I think that's like the main thing is that I'm willing to listen and I'm willing to see. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to take away everything I'm listening to. It doesn't mean that I'm going to steal ideas, although I believe that we should be stealing ideas from all of us should be stealing ideas from each other and making them our own. But it's about getting attention is number one for marketing. I need to get attention. And then once you have the attention, you must chase that with content to educate homeowners. So you gotta have a happy medium. So we make really funny videos, and then it gets people like, oh man, look at these funny videos. I need to like this page. I need to follow this page. They're going to post funny stuff. And we are, but we're also going to post educational about 10 times in between those really funny videos. So you're forced to listen to us, And like I said, we got to be everywhere, man. We're at golfing events. We give a free veterans roof on 4th of July. We do a free veterans roof on Veterans Day. This year, we're doing a first responders roof. My goal is to get to 12 free a year, doing one every single month for the rest of the time that we're in business. That's what I want to do. We donate to the needy families into the year. We have collaborations all throughout the year. We'll attend any event that we can get our hands on, even if it's something silly. I've had my guys at reptile conventions. Why are you at a reptile convention? I don't know. Why'd I get 15 leads? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think outside the box. It doesn't have to be roofing related. Hence the name Roof Trolls, because I want to embrace other people doing things, because also you can benefit from other successful people. They don't have to be in roofing for you to understand that, hey man, maybe they're doing something really cool that I don't even know about. I'm learning a lot about taxes right now because I got a great tax person, but like, holy hell, it's so deep in taxes. I hope some owners listening, I hope you guys understand how deep this is. Like, there's a lot for us to learn out there, guys. Like, believe me, there is. And that's kind of like the mindset with marketing too. Like, we ask for people to join us in our stance in educating homeowners. We ask for people to come and be a part of a collaboration. I want to shed spotlight for you guys. I think that it makes us look better long term. And my goal is that although we may see smaller amounts of money right now, I have reason to believe that once we are established as a destination spot and as more reps travel here, then guess what, guys? More reps, more ads, more followers, more bread, guys. It's going to happen. We're going to grow at the right pace that we need to. And then full disclosure, my hopes is that I can avoid this PE suck up that they're doing right now in our industry. And I hope that I can grow this out, and make it special on my own before we decide to go down those ventures.
Yeah. What are you seeing that you, I guess, don't like about the PE route that a lot of people are trying to take these days?
So I'm going to be fully honest with you. I don't know enough to definitively say this I don't like or this I do like. I could be open about that. What I can say is I believe that if you're going to go that route, you're only going for one reason, and if that one reason is to get out of it, well, then my question would remain the same as I've asked everybody. So you sold your company, but now what happens to the company and what happens to the people that worked underneath you that believed in you, that you told them that you're going to take care of their families. This comes back to, are you really in this for them? Or are you in this for yourself? Are you giving them a percentage? Are they shareholders in this? And when the sale goes through, do they get some startup cash? Do you have anything set aside for them? Did you determine if I sell for X amount or whatever multiplier they tell you you're going to get, and it should come to fruition? Do I disperse that to the people that I left behind? There's a lot of questions that arise with that. And then I think the most important thing is, to me, I wouldn't even consider doing something like that until I've exhausted all my resources. I'd have to see how far I can grow this before I would ever think about letting somebody else come in and grow that. Because what happens is a lot of the companies that do get absorbed by PE, there are some nice endings to it. But unfortunately, the trend shows that once the ownership and the heart of the companies leave, well, what do you have? That's what people keep getting confused by this. This don't mean shit. Romans is it's a cool logo, but it doesn't mean anything. This means something. It's what you stand behind. Like it's what keeps this going. Once I'm gone, once our partners are gone, once our top reps, our managers, once they're gone, you bought a name, and that name is it's as valuable as Kmart, Red Lobster. It's as valuable as Joanne Fabric. That's about how valuable that name is. So pay attention to those things. That's my main thing. But like I said, I'm trying to build a culture here. That's not even a focal point, but I do see what they're doing, and kudos to people who are into that. Like if that's your move, that's your end game. You've been open and honest with the people working for you. Who am I to tell you you're making the wrong decision? You know what I'm saying? Like, go make your paper. I'll never knock someone else's hustle. Just not for me.
Yeah, for sure. We talked a little bit about earlier, if you're going to be building a sales team and a destination for sales reps, and you have to, you had mentioned it to me, I think it was on our call the other day, that you feel that there's a big gap in the roofing industry around training. How have you guys thought about that, and how have you put into place a training process that really benefits the salespeople on an ongoing basis?
It's the hardest thing to do, man. That is the hardest thing to do. So last year we thought we gave some pretty decent training. We didn't. We didn't deliver anywhere near what we needed to. This year we're like, all right, we're doubling down on the training, and we did. We worked really hard to train with the guys. We felt fairly confident about it. Brought Deshaun in here, brought John Scenic in here. Deshaun does the one-on-ones with us after he breaks down the team, assesses it and everything. And one of the biggest consensus across the board was we needed to do more training. So we're like, holy hell, dude, like what are we doing? And then instead of getting frustrated about it, I realized that it may not necessarily be more training. It may be reiterating the basics on a consistent basis to where it just becomes second nature. Don't call it training. just continue to go over the basics of what you want the people to do, and it'll be better. We have a door knocking schedule now that we've implemented here from 3 o'clock to 8 p.m. And what we do from 12 until 3 now is we train. We pick 2 topics and we dive in on those, man. We're going to go all in on everything that, and most importantly, we ask the sales team, what is it that you guys are struggling with? What can we help you with? How do we work together in making this, a thing? Also, we label the goals. Everybody knows what the goals are. They got their vision boards up in our conference room. And then we have our main goal as a company, because it's important that they understand that we all have a goal and that every road is going to be different, but the end of the road needs to remain the same. As long as we all have the same end goal, we can do this right. Training is no different. As long as you tell me what you need, I'll make sure that I deliver on that end. But it was really eye-opening to think that even now we still don't have the training, and that should go to speak volumes for owners that are listening to this as well. Like I said, I got guys that have been in this for 5 and 6 years, and they're saying they need more training. Like this, the industry changes every single year. So you need to adapt to that, and you need to change up too. You need to, we need to double down on basics. There's some people out here that are selling millions of dollars in roofs that don't know what drip edge is. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy, but it is a real thing. And the basics are, I think that's a good point around the basics. If you think about it from a sports analogy, like you just never stop practicing. You never stop training. You never stop practicing. And a lot of it is just the fundamentals. You're still working on the fundamentals. You just get better at the fundamentals. You're doing advanced fundamentals when you're, as you gain experience in a lot of cases. What other things are you doing, to, like, let's say you have a brand new sales rep, fresh new sales rep. Like, what's the journey for them?
I know you're enjoying the episode, but let's give a shout out to another one of our sponsors.
Stop going at it alone, because growing a roofing company today is not what it was like even 3 years ago. Not with the economy, not with private equity, not with AI taking over the world, and let's not forget insurance rewriting the rules. Join the community of roofers who don't really like roofers. We share our winning secrets to help each other dominate in today's fast-changing and unpredictable times. Click the link in the description to apply to join.
To, like, let's say you have a brand new sales rep, fresh new sales rep. Like, what's the journey for them?
So, one more aspect of the training too is we got repair guys. So we'll send the team out there and, like, say we're doing a roof on Thursday. On Wednesday, we might have the whole team up on that roof, teaching them how to pull an ITEL, teaching them how to tarp it. We're replacing the roof tomorrow anyway. Let's shred this thing up. We teach them what it looks like to do this and do it right. But as far as, I'm sorry, can you repeat that, what you were saying as far as...
I was thinking, like, the journey of a sales rep from being a fresh new sales rep. They're just getting started. Like, what does that journey look like to you? How do you best prepare them for a career as a roofing sales rep?
So after the interview process, which is rigorous in itself, we try to do 2 interviews. So after the interview process, they get in here. We always hire with multiple people, say 4 or 5. We do a room, and what they do is they come in the office every single day for that week. The first day, they would be, going through the initial setup, the tax paperwork, all that stuff. They're going to sit down, and we're going to kind of run them through what our mission statement is, what we stand for here, what the goals are here, and how we plan to accomplish that goal, and then where they fit in that process. The second half of that day is the exact same thing, except for now it's their turn. What is your goal? Where do you think you fit into this process? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be at in 2 or 3 years? Another thing that we're failing on as owners too is some of these guys aren't going to be roofers for the rest of their life, guys. You have to accept that. Most of them are lifers when they get in this industry. We know that. But some of them, dude, they aspire to be rappers, and they're only doing this because for 2 years they want to build a studio. You got to support that. You got to help them. I got a guy who worked with me for 1.5 years, 2 years almost, and he owns a hot dog stand. I have that guy at every single veteran build we do, every single one of them. I have him at my fantasy football leagues, everything, my daughter's birthday, a whole shebang. Love the guy. but he wasn't destined for this. He had a different mission statement. You got to respect that. So we hear about what they're doing. Then day 2 would be coming in and kind of going down a little bit more of like a recap, and then the systems. Here's our CRM. Here is our door knocking app. Here is the iPad that we present to you guys. Let's get the serial numbers in. Let's get the uniform in. Why is a uniform important? What is the significance of this? Do you have any questions pertaining to yesterday? Let's dive into some deeper stuff. We go into all the processes, company cam, everything. Then day 3 would be breaking down what their responsibilities and duties would be as a sales rep. How does it start from beginning to end process? What's the paperwork look like? What's the explanation of the paperwork? What does each line in this contract mean? How would you present this? A little bit of role playing off of what they've learned, a little bit of showing them kind of the funner side of what we do. We like to have a good time here. I think that's important. I think that's a missed recruiting opportunity as well. A lot of people want to talk about the money you can make, and that's great. But I'm a living example, and a lot of people in this industry, we're not driven by money, guys. If I was bored here and you paid me $1 million a year, I'd walk on you. I would, dude. I don't want to be bored. I want to have fun. I want to laugh. Like, I'm sorry. I just want to have a good time. So, and that comes with culture. Hire the right people that can fit in with your guys. But we'll introduce the team slowly. I think day 3 is like when we introduced them so they could see how big the sales team is, let them get a feel out for them. Day 4, they would meet their team leads. We would go down their numbers of the team leads, what the responsibility is of that team lead, and the chain of command. They'll introduce other people. They'll be introduced to the sales managers, to the sales director. They'll be introduced to the owners. Come in there, shake hands with them, talk with them, chit chat. We buy them lunch every day. We build camaraderie. Friday would be the first day that they get a taste of door knocking, although they don't knock the door themselves. They kind of shadow, climb on a roof when they can, see how the apps work, see how hover's done, see how, company cam is done, see all that stuff. So they go through that process. And then once they're done with that, we kind of give them the weekend off to refresh themselves. Hey, man, you had a good week here. Stay strong. Remember your goals. Come to us on Monday and let's move forward. Now they got mantras, though. Now we got like mantras and stuff, too, that we're making the guys have a mantra. Yeah, you have to have some type of mission statement. If you don't have one, then you're coming out here with no purpose. If you're coming out here with no purpose, you will get no results. So you have to have a purpose with that. So we send them to that. And the following week is the first time that they'll actually get out and be able to knock doors. And we don't expect much from them in that first week. It's more so like, I want to see if this is even for them, Like, it's one thing to talk about door knocking. It's another thing to go knock a door at 85 degrees and climb on a black roof, at that type, So it's a whole new ball game once that comes. And then the team leads will let us know, hey, man, this guy, he needs work here, or I feel we could help him here. And then their goal is to develop the sales guys underneath them. So their goals and financially, they are tied to those sales reps. So they need to make sure that sales rep produces at the Roman level. And then they also need to make decisive decisions as well as with management. One philosophy we have here I read in a book called Essentialism, great book. But it says, if it is not a clear yes, it's a clear no. So like if it's not 100% this guy can be molded, then it's 100% we can't work with him, cut ties with him. Remember that you have to be good at firing as well. I want to build a positive culture, but you got to be able to make a move. And some moves are very, very tough decisions. It's never easy to do those things, but this is about protecting the other 50 families that you have underneath you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to them, you have to make the right move.
Yeah. What does success look like in that rep in your mind in the first year?
First year? It's a good question. I'd want to see a lot of things, man. There's a lot of tangibles in that.
Yeah. Tangibles and intangibles. Like, what do you like? It doesn't just have to be a number. You know what I mean? Like, what else are you looking for?
Are you doing anything outside of what I'm showing you is a big thing for me. I could show you everything until I'm blue in the face, but then what am I showing you? I'm only showing you everything I know. Deshaun told me in Orlando when I saw him speak at RoofCon, he told me afterward, he said, yeah, he was reading the book and he didn't enjoy it at all. He's like, book sucks. And I'm like, what the hell are you reading it for? And you know what he said to me? It makes so much damn sense. It's so stupid. I didn't even think about it. He goes, I'm reading it because they did. He goes, why am I going to let him read that? And I'm not going to read it too. I said, okay, that's a good philosophy. Why would you want to work side by side with a guy who has more knowledge than you? Makes sense. So like, that's my Neanderthal thinking, never put that together my damn self. But I tell our reps that, like, are you doing something outside of this? So I think success for me to be the guy who's he'll hit me up. So our top sales rep right now is a girl named Ashley. She hasn't even been in the industry for a year. She's our top sales rep, came from selling mattresses. And she constantly, what podcast do you listen to? Well, who should I be watching on YouTube? Every roof shingle group I join in that I've been in, I see her posting it. What shingle is this? What's the name of this? What would I do in this case scenario? What do you do here? I pop on Zooms and she's already sitting in there, free Zooms that that are on Instagram and stuff like that. Like she's popped into them. So like, I like that. I like seeing somebody go out and educate themselves when I don't have to sit there and hold your hand through it. That would be a sign of success. Another sign of success would be how well are the people around you doing when they work with you? Is everybody eating or is it just you feasting? Because then you got to ask yourself, is somebody helping this person or is this person doing it themselves? That's a big key point. Are you writing legible on your contract? I know that sounds stupid, but I can't believe how many 30-year-olds can't spell. How many 30-year-olds can't fill out the contract the correct way? It's insane, dude. That's paperwork. That's legal binding paperwork. What's wrong with you? So like that's something, and then what are your buy rates? Buy rates is huge. Are you signing quality stuff? Are you signing, stuff you shouldn't be signing? And it's really hard to gauge on like an income wise, because we all know that year one, you can explode in year one. I sold $1.5 million year one, never even climbed a roof. Full disclosure, never even climbed one roof. Company used to get so mad at me. I ended up being top sales rep, $1.5 million. I did everything wrong, but that just goes to show you volume will go a long way in this industry. So I guess what I'd want to see is the growth, are you doing it the correct way? And then even if you fail to hit like $1 million mark, which I think is like pretty much for most companies, that's the mark where people want to set people at. So like if you finished at 700,000, but was it a clean 700,000? Well, then to me, that holds more weight than 1.5 dirty, where I got to go back and fix everything, or the back end's got to do all this extra support for you, customers calling in here constantly because you don't communicate with them. So I like to see that they're taking the right steps and getting better.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys what advice do you have for the industry? Like for people listening, like what advice can you give them?
Listen to your sales guys, man. Listen to your sales guys and listen to your clientele. There's a big mix up, I think, in the industry when it comes to marketing and branding. Marketing is literally what we tell people we are, but your brand is what they say about you when the door is closed. That's what you need to focus on. Bring a clear mission statement and then put your guys in a position to succeed. And again, go back and think about a time when you were struggling. What could that person have done better for you to get you in a position? And what could have been a huge boost for you to help you understand something more? And then apply that to this. For those of us that have kids, I'm a father. My daughter, the very first thing that ever popped in my brain when I even heard I was having a kid, wow, I don't want her to grow up like I did. So why are we forcing our reps to learn like we did? I have so many friends that own businesses too in this, and they're like, yeah, we learn by watching YouTube. We went out there and we were dogs. We got after it. That's why we're the stronger of the pack. That's stupid. Why did we learn that way? We learned that way because some bum was running the company that didn't train us. We learned that way because other people were focused on things instead of developing our mindset. It shouldn't have took us 8 years to get to this level. It should have took us 3 years to get here. But we had to learn everything on our own. Why not cut that in half? I want my competition to be on the same level I am. Why? Because I aspire to be greater. So how do I get better? Well, I got to bring you up here with me so that I'm forced to learn more so I can keep rising myself. I love chasing people that I'm never going to catch. I know that, but I still got to chase them. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon, right? Like, or land on the moon, whatever, however that saying goes. Like, let's aim for huge goals, but come up with a realistic road to it and genuinely care about your people. That's all I'm asking people to do is genuinely care. You're never going to make less money bringing somebody else up with you. It's never going to happen. So if you know that, then why not help somebody else? What good is being the man if you don't have anybody else up there with you? Doesn't make any sense.
Awesome, Elijah. Thanks for your time today. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Thank you for tuning into the Roofing Success Podcast. For more valuable content, visit roofingsuccesspodcast.com. While there, check out our sponsors for exclusive offers, shop for merchandise, and sign up for our newsletter for industry updates and tips. Also, join the Roofing Success Facebook group to connect with other professionals and stay updated on the latest trends. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Your support helps us continue to bring you top industry insights. The website link is in the description. Thanks for listening.